Good afternoon, my name is Jim Conlan and welcome to the latest episode of our entertainment show. As you know, each month we are delighted to preview and air some new TV series that will be debuting here on our screens in Ireland for the upcoming month. And in particular, this week we're focusing on a season 2 of a popular show starring senior actresses Sarah Chalke and Katherine Heigl about two lifelong friends called in this show called Firefly Lane. It's on Netflix, channel Netflix UK here in Ireland, and it's been a relative real good success in terms of season 1, a must thorough watch. And season 2 now is debuting on our screens here in Ireland in the upcoming week or so. And we're delighted to be joined by one of the stars of the TV series, Ali Skovbye, who plays the role of a young Tully. Tully and is one of those characters, Tully Harte, and her sidekick, her best friend, Kate Malarkey, played by Sarah Chalke and Katherine Heigl. As Ali Skovbye plays the younger version of Tully Harte, Katrina Heigl's character. Ali, first of all, season 1, great success. How excited are you now for season 2 being shown all over the world?
I'm very excited. I think everyone's waited a while for this next season to come out. So I'm very excited that it's finally here and people can watch it. I'm so excited.
And I suppose 10 episodes in season 1, an awful lot of stories told in terms of depicting the sort of characters' lives in terms of the high to lows. And obviously yourself and Rowan were prominent members in the first season in terms of dictating the young aspects of their life. In terms of season 2 now, what do we get to see in terms of a young Tully in terms of telling her story? Is much of her story yet to be discovered in terms of those youthful years growing up in the 70s and early 80s?
Yes, for sure. I was saying earlier, I think this season really gives a wider perspective and that much greater of a view of these characters and their lives and their families and everything that makes them who they are. And we just dive that much deeper into them and which makes you understand the way that they are and the way that they act sometimes, which is maybe not so good. And I think we only get deeper into their friendship, into their individual lives. And I think the best is yet to come.
And I suppose, Ali, you obviously working off the books by Katrina Hanna in terms of the storyline there. Did you have so much of the story covered in season 1, or just so much delve in terms of knowledge, in terms of what you can sort of feed on, or were you able to create new aspects or new angles on the story in terms of season 2?
Yeah, I think I think that when you read a book and when you watch a show, it's two different forms of storytelling. So I do think that the show is different from the book in some ways and the same in some ways. And I think that is what makes it so beautiful, is that we do follow the book and we do try to pay tribute to that. But we also know that a TV show is a much different format than reading a book. And so there are different aspects to it and different storylines that aren't in the book and storylines that are in the book. And so I think that we have a good mix of both. So I think that people who love the book will be happy. And if people haven't read the book, which they should, because it's an amazing book, they will also be happy. Hopefully.
And I suppose, yeah, no problem, Ali. And Ali, I suppose so much of the character, in essence, of you being in sync with Katherine's character, and obviously that sort of chemistry to sort of feed off you're the one identity, the one person. But as young Tully grows older in terms of season 2, obviously you're preparing that character maybe in our mid to late teens before Katherine takes it over. Do we get to see more and more of the resemblance in terms of the one character coming to the foreground?
I think so. I think that the more you dive into both storylines, but I think specifically the younger storyline, it only makes everything that happens in the older storylines make that much more sense. The more you understand of people from when they're younger and their very formative years, when they're very, it's much more easy to be impressionable and where a lot of your growth happens, it only makes everything that you see Katherine do in the 80s and in the 2000s that much, you just have that much more understanding of her and her life. And I think that we both tried to do our best to make sure that it was a seamless transition between the both of us.
And I suppose, Ali, in terms of shooting in British Columbia, obviously American actors, Canadian actors, and obviously getting to spend time with Sarah and Katherine on set, have you almost bonded that sort of family, sort of chemistry, that sort of mother-daughter relationships? Is it very much coming to the fore? Do you almost see Sarah, Chalke, and Katherine as like mothers or big elderly sort of sisters? And do you almost feel that that chemistry is something that could maybe grow on for further seasons?
Yeah, I think that all of us are super close and all of us got along really well, which I think is unfortunately sometimes kind of rare in this industry, but we all truly got along so well. And I have so much respect for them and value their opinions and their advice so much. And we truly all just got along so well. And Roan is my best friend in real life as well as on screen. And so I've learned from her and from Sarah and from Katherine and from everybody who I just adore so much. And it's sad that it's over, but I know that we've all made very long connections with each other and we still talk all the time. And me, Roan, and Sarah actually are Canadian, and so we live in British Columbia, and so we still all hang out, even though the show is over, which is the best.
And you mentioned that obviously the British Columbia element to it, and obviously living in Canada. Did that obviously make the show for you that more homely sort of touch, that it wasn't shot in the hustle and bustle of Warner Studios in LA or Los Angeles? And obviously that's great for any sort of actress to experience that. But do you almost feel that the Canadian connection and obviously the scenes that you're able to create maybe in British Columbia, that you might have been able to bring that together in the, say, being in the Warner Studio lofts or Hollywood in LA? Would it have the same connection, or would it be lost, do you feel?
I think we would all still have the same connection, because I think regardless of our surroundings, all of us as people would still be the same, and our connections would still be the same. I do think that, I mean, I love being able to shoot from home and being able to go home to my actual home every day, which is amazing. And as I said, Rona and Sarah live there as well, which is great. And I don't know, I love Canadians. Canadians are very kind. And I mean, everybody is kind, but I maybe a little biased, but Canadians are very kind. And so I think that it's always nice to be able to shoot a show at home and away from kind of the craziness a little bit.
And Ali, in terms of viewers now looking on, in terms of wanting to see what's in store for them in terms of season 2 on Netflix, without giving too much away in terms of storyline, what are sort of the main sort of plots and themes that we see in terms of running through season 2 in terms of storylines? Is it love, hate, anger, greed, deception? What are the sort of plots or storylines?
All of it. I think we dive into everything, truly. Like, I mean, there's not a lot that our show doesn't cover. So I think you're going to get everything in both part 1 and part 2. I think we dive into the beautiful parts of friendship, the not so beautiful parts of friendship, and everything that comes with that, with your individual families. And yeah, honestly, everything. A lot happens, which just makes it that much better.
And I suppose a few questions, Ali, now before we start to leave. Ali, Skovbye, have you ever been to Ireland? And if so, can you share your memories with us? If not, is it something on your bucket list in the near future?
Yes, it is. It definitely is. I haven't been, unfortunately, but I also think I lost like 3 years of time through COVID, where I had like so many plans of things to do. And so I feel like I'm very behind on places that I want to go, but I definitely do want to go. For sure.
And I suppose it's a relevant time in history as well for your country, Canada. Have you been able to watch on and cheer your home country in the World Cup? What's it like being in Canada at the moment in terms of everything going on? Or is that something that you've been able to take a bit of notice to?
Yeah, I think I'm very proud to be Canadian. And I love that Vancouver is my home base, and that no matter where I go, I can always go back there. And have that be my docking point. And so I'm very grateful that I was able to grow up in Canada.
Okay. And Ali Skovbye, finally, before you leave, what does the remainder of 2022 and early into 23 look like for you? Have you an awful lot in the pipeline in terms of what we might see in terms of future projects? Or obviously there's some things you mightn't be able to discuss, but is there going to be a busy time for you coming into the following year?
Hopefully. Yeah, I took a little bit of time off when we finished filming. We did 16 episodes all at once as opposed to 10, so it was a bit of a longer streak, and so I took a little bit of time off, which I very much appreciated, and I'm ready to get back into it soon. I'm a workaholic a little bit, so I'm missing working, so I'm excited for the new year.
On that note, Ali Skovbye, for me, Jim Conlan, an absolute pleasure talking to you on the airwaves this evening to preview season 2 of Firefly Lane, dropping on channel Netflix UK here in Ireland. Ali Skovbye plays the character of Tully, young Tully, beside Rowan and Sarah Chalke and Katherine Heigl. And no doubt a great success. It's sad to see that it's all coming to end, but you've given us 19 episodes to share us, and no doubt we'll be seeing you on our TV screens and our movie screens in the near future with upcoming projects, and hopefully we can chat to you again sometime in the near future. But for the moment, Ali Skovbye, take care, stay safe, and God bless.
Yay, thank you so much.
Thank you, Ali. Take care.
Bye. It's nice to meet you.